All right, I'm going to go over question 4 and 5 with you. All right, so for question 4, we're using the laws of logs to rewrite the equation in a form with no logs with products, quotients, or powers. So the first thing we should notice here is this is a quotient. Okay, so we can use our law of logs that says we can break this up into two separate logs, and we can use subtraction in place of the division. So this is the natural log of 5x to the 2/3 minus the natural log of y to the 1/4. So if you have a radical, you can change that into a fraction. Remember that the denominator is always going to be the root, the top will be the power. So if it's just the fourth root and there's no power on y, it would just be a 1, it's going to be 1/4. Now here's where people usually mess up. They forget that the 2/3 is only attached to the x, and they put the 2/3 in front of this whole natural log. But remember, this is 5 times x to the 2/3. So first I have to separate it with addition, natural log of 5 plus natural log of x to the 2/3. And then any exponent I have goes in front. So I went ahead and I put the 1/4 in front here. Now my last step is going to be to put the 2/3 in front. So my final answer will be the natural log of 5 plus 2/3 natural log of x minus 1/4 natural log of y. Now for the next one, we're going to do the opposite. So we're given the expanded form. We're going to have to condense it. It says to write it as a single logarithm. That means you should only have one log in your final answer and no rational exponents. Okay, so rational is just another name for a fraction. So you can't have any exponents that are fractions. We're going to have to change those into roots and powers. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is if there's any numbers in front, we can write those as what? Yep, we're going to write them as exponents. So, okay, I have 3/4 from here that's going to go as an exponent, and then 2 that's going to go as an exponent here. Now from left to right, we can just see if we have subtraction or addition. So the first thing we have here is subtraction, which means I'm going to divide these two. So whatever is in the first log, that's just going to be the numerator. Whatever the second log is of, that's going to be in the denominator. My log bases are the same, so I definitely can combine those. Now, in my next step, I'm going to make this a root, and then I'm also going to be multiplying because of this addition. Now, think about when you're multiplying a whole number by a fraction. Do you multiply it by the top, by the bottom, or both? You're going to multiply it by the top only. If you're forgetting that, remember, it's like this is over 1. If this is over 1, you're going to multiply straight across. So really, the denominator just gets multiplied by 1. So let's look and see how our final answer should be. So I have log base 4. That's also something people forget. Don't forget to do your log base. So log base 4 of x multiplied by the root 4 of x plus 4 cubed. And then that would be divided by x plus 9, and that quantity would be squared. Okay, so you should have parentheses here. You need it for the power. You need parentheses here because that whole thing's to the power of 2. And then you need parentheses here because that is what the entire log is of. You could write the times x here on the top, but if you have a root, it's just easier, more acceptable to put that in front. And then if you did put it in the back, you just be careful that you don't put it under the root. All right, nice job. We're ready for page 2.